The early Christians, as we know, came from the Jewish world within which many people were expecting Israel's God to come back at last in person and in power and in glory, to come back to dwell in the temple in radiant splendor, and particularly to rescue his people. And what seems to have happened is that the very early Christians, looking at the events of Jesus' death and resurrection on the one hand, and of the giving of the Spirit and the leading of the Holy Spirit on the other, found themselves telling those ancient stories of what Israel's God had promised to do, and discovering that the only way they could say that he'd done it was by telling the stories about Jesus and the Spirit. So what we find in the very earliest days of Christian faith is that they were telling the story about God as the story about Jesus, and now telling the story of God as the story of the